Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 4, Episode 19. The best mini drone is, drum roll please. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Talking to you. Florida has the hottest drone reviewers. I kid you not. It was 97 today. What can I say? Okay, all of us, we've decided we've skipped the month of May. We're really in June right now. Okay, just to let you guys know. It was 97 today. 97. It's May the 4th. And by the way, May the 4th be with you. All right. May the 4th be with you too. All right. Got a great lineup tonight. Got lots to talk about. I'm going to be joined a little bit by Mr. Ron Brown. Marcus Crawford may be showing up as well too. Got a lot to talk about tonight. And we're going to spend some time talking about what we think the best mini drone is. So stay tuned for that. Got a lot to talk about with that. Got a lot going on. Oh, and I want to let you guys know we're getting settled into the house just a little bit more and more. You know, each weekend goes by, we try to get some stuff done because we work during the week and, you know, all that stuff. I was on the road for 3.5 hours today. All right. Yeah. I got a service award from work. I had to go pick it up. So that was a round trip. It was about 3.5 hours by the time I got back home. But that was to celebrate my work anniversary there, which is nice. And it was something nice that my company did anyway. All right. Like I said, we got a lot going on here tonight. Oh, all right. Allergies and all. Okay. All right. Got a lot of people in the house already. We're going to go ahead. Let's see. Stephen Ewing, John Olson is here. Doler, Johnny Drone Flyer, Leonard Oglesby. Lauren is in the house tonight. All right. Let's see. Floyd Motes is here tonight. Drone Views Media. Who else we got? Drone Shots is here. All right. Okay. Like I said, got a lot going on here tonight. Now, you know, we had now as far as, and I got to apologize about the camera shaking. I'm ordering a different stand. I spent the weekend rearranging this desk and getting things organized. And trust me, I pulled some hairs out doing it, and a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay. When you're 63 years old and you're on a linoleum floor and you're moving stuff around, and I'm trying to get wires set up for the computer and everything, it's just not an easy task. Quadcopters and tech, welcome. Glad you're here tonight. All right. Let's go ahead. Yeah. Now, you guys know I have talked about, and you're probably tired of hearing this, okay? Just to let you guys know, okay? There's the defect right there. You can see. All right, the pins are bent. This came with the Air 2S. All right. Well, lo and behold, I got this problem solved. Now, number one, just want to let you know, I did not send this back to DJI because I would have to send the whole thing back, which I'm like, why would he have to send the whole thing back? This doesn't make sense. And I know last week in the chat, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, Lon Dennard popped in and he heard about it from somebody else, and some other people did the same thing. So, you know, this is just not peculiar to me. This happened to more than one person. And you'll never guess, well, you know, you won't because you don't know him. My incredible son-in-law gave me the answer. He knew this. And the reason he knew this is he worked in retail for a few years, all right? Now we're going to get a little bit of an education here, all right? We all love getting a little bit of an education. So, you know, let me start off with this, okay? Let's look. Okay. What do they scan in? Okay. Not serial number, but you see the UPC there, okay? They scan that in at Best Buy, your retailer, wherever you get this, okay? Product comes up, you purchase it, all right? Okay? Now, UPC is universal product code, okay? That's something that is across probably all North America. It may not be worldwide, but it is universal, okay? Here's another thing. You've heard of SKU numbers before, okay? Now, SKU numbers are particular to a manufacturer. Let's look at the definition of a SKU number. Let me go ahead and bring that up on the screen here. A SKU or stock keeping unit is a unique number used to internally track a business inventory. SKUs are alphanumeric and should provide information on the most important characteristics of a product: price, color, style, brand, gender, type, and size, for example. Information in the SKU should also be placed in order from important to least important, or in other words, the most needed information to the least. SKUs also aren't universal. They're meant to be unique to your business and can be tailored to represent what your customers or vendors ask the most about your store's merchandise. And here's an example of a SKU with a UPC number. Now, the SKUs aren't written on there, but DJI does have them. Okay, problem is solved. Okay, let's take a look, and this is the best thing that I can do is show you the picture on the back of the box. Okay, each one of these by themselves, like if you were to buy the case, for example, all right, it would have its own SKU number. If you were to buy, say, a controller, for example, it would have its own SKU number. All right, well, guess what, guys? This has its own SKU number as well, too. And the Fly More kit has its own SKU number, all right? So in other words, okay, this would completely throw off DJI's inventory if they were to go ahead and just take this back, all right? That's why they said that they would repair it, all right? Now, this is sold individually, and when it's sold individually, it has its own SKU number. So that's why they are ask you to return the whole item back, because it's a part of a unit, a Fly More combo. Had I purchased this individually and had this, that wouldn't have been, there'd have been no questions asked. They'd have done this. But because this is a part of a SKU, it's part of it, okay? You can't do that. There's no way to track this as far as inventory is concerned, and that's important to companies. So this problem has been solved. And again, I want to thank my son-in-law, Andy, for this. Andy, thank you so much. I know you watch, so I'm giving you some props here on this one. He's a great guy, and I love him very much. But this was brilliant, because we had a conversation the other night on the phone, and he enlightened me, and I'm like, wow, wow, okay. And this is something that I had actually learned a long time ago. So, but we solved that problem here, okay? You know, that's what we do around here. Build a drone reviewer. We solve problems. No, we try to solve problems. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I am totally just kidding. Okay, you know, that was a good thing, all right? That was an absolutely good thing. Now, there are a lot of Air 2S videos out there right now. Take your pick, okay? One of the things that I wanted to talk about, people have kind of found some things, all right? Now, I want to bring him up, okay? I think you guys know Henrik from Tech Drone Media, all right? And I'm just going to share, we're not going to watch his video, but he found an interesting issue here. Let's go ahead and share, Bill. All right, there we go, okay. DJI Air 2 is dangerous with DJI Smart Controller. Do not fly. He said, DJI Air 2 is dangerous with DJI Smart Controller, and I do not recommend flying it with it before DJI gets it fixed, as the signal breaks up all the time. The standard controller is not causing any issue and provides a nice flying experience. So and I encourage you guys to go ahead and watch the video. I'll make sure to drop a link in the description. Henrik's a great guy. You know, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, he has an excellent channel. I highly recommend him. He does a great job with his videos. Okay, so this is something that people have found with the Air 2S, all right? And I wanted to call this to your attention because I know a lot of people are like, and I know Marcus is like, oh, well, you know, I got rid of my Smart Controller. Maybe I shouldn't have, and maybe it's an oopsie, okay? Now, what a lot of people are thinking with this, and this is something I want to throw out there, all right? Now, Mr. D may know the answer on this. DJI may be coming out with a new iteration of a smart controller or a smart controller 2, okay? Which I kind of think they might with a Mavic 3 coming out, you know, and it might, and remember the communication on the Air 2S is a little different, all right? So it might work with these protocols. I don't know. This is just a guess. This is something that is being talked about, and it would kind of make sense with a Mavic 3 for that to come out. Now, there's also been, the pot's been stirred a little bit about the Mavic 3. I mean, guys, we just got this, okay? Everybody's stirring the pot about the Mavic 3. Have fun with this. Enjoy this. I am. I'm going to get out this weekend again and do some more flying. As long as it's not this God blessed stinking hot. I got to do it early in the morning or late in the afternoon, because trust me out there, it's just like you need a shower after you're done when you go out and fly. It's when you fly out in these kind of temperatures. But I'd go out early in the morning or late in the afternoon. So I wanted to make you guys aware of this. I didn't know if you knew this regarding the Air 2S and the issues regarding that, but I kind of wanted to throw that out there so you guys had an opportunity to know that. So, all right. Ray Kelly's in the house. Jaybird's in the house. Welcome. DeMarco's here. Michael Wright is here tonight. All right. Guys, seriously, this weather's crazy down. Ray Kelly, you left Florida at the right time, okay? It's too stinking hot down here right now. It really is. Like, my daughter goes, it's like 50 up in Ohio. It's nice and cool. I said, send some down our way, okay? Because it's a little bit too much on hot. Excuse me, on the hot side. All right. Moving on here, all right? You know, one of the nice things that I really like about the Mini 2 is it had everything. When it came out, it was something to behold. But before we get to that, all right, I have a B&H update, all right? Now, I was on the phone with customer service for them. Now, they do have, disclaimer here, B&H has excellent customer service. So, a little caveat, all right? And they may be short-staffed because of COVID. Understand that, all right? But I was on hold with them for 40 minutes, and I never got through. So I engaged them with their chat. Only had to wait about 10 minutes, and I actually got through to somebody on their chat. Now, when you engage somebody, one of their customer service reps at B&H, they are awesome, all right? Every one of them that I've had interaction with there, they've been fantastic. That's why I highly recommend them. I think they do an excellent job there. That's why I'm glad I just purchased something else besides the Mini. I purchased an accessory for this, and there's a video coming out on it. Now, what I tell you what the accessory is? Well, stay tuned, and it's going to be coming out probably in the next day or two. All right. That aside, all right, I had told them, posted on B&H's website was they stated that May the 3rd was a release date for the Fimi X8 Mini, all right? Well, May the 3rd is come and gone. I had talked to them, and what they told me last was it will come in on Friday. What they were told is it was going to come in on Friday, which would have been, the 30th? Yeah, Friday was the 30th, and it would be ready to be shipped on Monday. Well, Monday came and went, didn't happen. So Monday afternoon, I engaged their customer service, and I did get a hold of somebody in the chat. Now, what they told me in the chat was if there is nothing by May the 12th, to go ahead and either call back or chat with them to see what's going on. That's the best they could tell me at this point, because the website is showing back ordered on the order. Well, the website, the website, it's kind of confusing. It shows back ordered when you look on your order status, but it has it has something different when you just click directly on the website. So, and again, why they do that, I don't know. I don't have any idea why they're doing that. So just to kind of throw that out there, I wish I could figure that out. But there are quite a few X8 Mini videos out there. Now I know Marcus got a couple out there, and he actually, and I think you guys probably know, he took his to a local electronics shop to see if he can get it repaired, because obviously, you buy it from AliExpress, you're not buying it. It's not like dealing with DJI. So you're kind of on your own. You kind of have to figure stuff out. Metro Drones, Bill, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by. Matt Cundiff, welcome, my friend. Good seeing you. Because he had that shake. I mean, everything else, doggone it, looked really well. And I agree with him. I don't know if this was peculiar to his drone in particular, because I've seen some other X8 Mini videos, and I haven't seen that shake. Marcus is going to go things by the book, okay? He's going to do his gimbal calibration. He's going to do his remote control calibration. He's going to do his compass calibration. And I think there's an IMU calibration. And Marcus is going to do all that and follow those steps. So, I hope, that the issue can be corrected with that. And like I said, stand by with B&H Photo. The thing I like about dealing with B&H Photo is because if something ends up being wrong with it, I can just send it right back to them. AliExpress, that's a whole nother ball game, all right? So that's a big reason why I ended up buying with them. So, but, early returns it's kind of mixed. I've actually seen some other videos out there, and they've looked okay. They haven't looked absolutely terrific. So, is it a Mini 2 killer? No, it's not a Mini 2 killer, but is it going to give the Mini 2 a run for its money? We'll see, okay? The jury's out. It's still a little too early on this. We're going to need to see some, Ron Brown still hasn't gotten his yet. Last I talked to Ron, and he still hasn't gotten any update on his shipping notice either. So, we're in a holding pattern here. I wish I had more information about this. I'm real anxious to get it, and I'm real anxious to get it up in the air to see if it has these gimbal shakes that Marcus was talking about. So stay tuned. That's coming. That's a work in progress. It's gonna come soon. Well, the title of tonight's episode, The Best Mini Drone Is, okay? Now, what I want to do is this, okay? We're going to take some time. We're going to spend some time on this tonight because the world is, the world is getting smaller. Everybody said the world's getting bigger. The world's getting smaller. The drone world's getting smaller, all right? The Phantom 4 Pro V2.0 was the gold standard for a while, but it's now the Mavic 2 Pro, but now a lot of people say it's this guy right here. The jury's out on this too, by the way, but from everything we're seeing on this, early returns this is looking really, really good. I've been very pleased with that video. I got several coming out. I got one coming out in 5.4K. Yeah, this is the real deal. This 1-inch sensor on here, the real deal. Like Cliff Totten was saying, that processor on here, yeah, this is a real deal. But okay, let's look at the Mini situation. All right, the best Mini drone is, all right. Drum roll, please. All right, Bill, you should have Johnny Drone Flyer do a survey. He does great service, right? That's a good thing, Johnny. Feel free to do this on my mini pages for the Fimi Mini, and I gotta add the Zino Mini to my Zino page. So, but yeah, Johnny, you're more than welcome to do that on those pages here. Okay, Ray. Thanks for bringing that up. That's a good point. Surveys are always real good. That kind of you kind of gauge some feedback with that. They're not real scientific because I minored in stats in college. They're not really technically that scientific, but they do provide somewhat of an indication of what things are going on as far as that's concerned. So, all right. Like I said, things have gotten smaller, okay? Not bigger, all right? The Inspire is now, there is no Inspire 3. This is where things are at. Well, as far as I know, there's no Inspire 3. maybe Mr. Lauren can enlighten me on that. I don't know. But that's where we're at with that, okay? So the Mini, all right? So what's the best Mini? Now, what I want to do first is I posed this question to Ron and Marcus, and as always, Mr. Ron Brown always has the spot-on answer for something like this, all right? Now, let's go ahead and bring the screen up, okay?
Mr. Ron.
Here's the other half of Drone Nation, Mr. Marcus Crawford. Mr. Marcus Crawford with a haircut, okay?
Definitely.
Let me guess. Sarah threatened to kick you out of the house, right?
She made me do it. There's a story behind it. The lady at the styling shop, the barber shop I went to Supercuts. She didn't want to cut it. I told her a number 4 all the way around and stuff, and she really tried to talk me out of it. She goes, "Oh, I can trim it up. I can, I said, no. We better do what my wife says." So yeah, that's what we did.
So give us an update on your Fimi Mini, because I was talking about it a little bit here.
Yeah. I was actually watching while I was eating dinner, Bill. So here is the little guy right there. Still has a broken arm, and for people that don't know what happened, I took it out to fly. And I dropped it. I was literally setting it down on the landing pad, and butterfingers, it fell out of my hand, and it hit, and it landed on this arm first. I was about 1.5 feet off the ground, something like that. But it was onto a sidewalk, so it was on cement, so it was a very low surface. And it definitely, but I was still kind of surprised at how fragile it is. So this arm, I'm pretty sure I can epoxy that and get it in good shape. But what happened was I took it to electronics repair because the gimbal was malfunctioning. Pardon me, Bill. And then, so, we're all experienced enough to know that that's very likely a ribbon cable. My hope was that it just dislodged, the ribbon cable had come loose or something. And they told me no, that the ribbon cable is broken on it, was torn. So my next move is, and you alluded to this earlier, Bill, and I know you've had experience with them. My next move is I got a hold of Fimi again. I guess I should back up a little bit. I originally got a hold of Fimi and asked them if I could buy just a drone. And they said, no, absolutely not. We don't have any, which is kind of understandable, right? We know they're producing them as fast as they can. But when I found out that it was the ribbon cable, I got a hold of them again. I said, listen, can I just buy a ribbon cable? I said, and an arm. I know I could epoxy that, but I thought, heck, I might as well buy an arm too.
Yeah.
And they said, absolutely not. They said, we don't sell parts. We have to service our drones. There are no, we don't want outsiders servicing our product. We have the tools to do it, et cetera, et cetera. Gosh, pardon me, Bill. I noticed that I'm getting the same allergies that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But so anyway, they refused to sell me any parts. So, I mean, it's basically, I can get it flying again, but that's going to be about it. Now, there is another interesting twist to this, and you know this, Bill, from the communications that we've had back and forth. But our friend Jet Martin came through and offered to let me take his order. He ordered from B&H just like you did. And he said, Marcus, I'll just redirect that and let you have it. So So that was really nice of him. So whenever B&H ships, I'll have another one and get to fly some more. And there is a bright side. There's a bright side to this story.
Okay.
I may be the only person that has 2 batteries for their Fimi Mini.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question to ask you. Okay. Did you look out on Banggood to see if they had any parts out there?
I did. I of course I did. And I looked on AliExpress.
AliExpress, yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing. And 6 months from now, there probably will be.
Probably will be, yeah.
Yeah. But there certainly isn't right now. So, and I thought it was really odd that Fimi would not even send me a ribbon cable. But that is something that, as a consumer, you need to take into consideration. With both Fimi and Hubsan, and what we know of Hubsan, at least in the past, I don't know how they're going to be on their new drone when it comes out, but there really is little to no service after the sale. So when you buy that thing, you just need to understand you're pretty much on your own. It's not like DJI. When I had problems with my Mini 2, I started a ticket with DJI. Bill, a week and a half later, I had a new drone in my hand.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you had an issue with your charge hub, kind of a separate kind of an issue, but at least they do have a service department and you can get resolution. It's a little different thing. So I should be fair, Bill. Fimi offered, they said, hey, send it back into us to China and we'll repair it, of course, for a fee, and then send it back. But let's think this through. As you know, it would probably cost me $80 to $100 to ship it to China. It would, by the time, I don't know what they would charge to repair it, but let's just give a good round number and say $100, right? Probably at least $100. And then shipping it back is another, $50 or whatever. Well, it's just not worth it. You might as well buy a new drone.
Yeah, you spent $300 just doing all that, and you've pretty much bought yourself another drone.
That's it. Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. Okay, and I have a little sidebar story that's kind of in line with you. Okay, I'm getting an entertainment center. Okay, for the new house. All right, and went out to Wayfair, bought it, brought it in. Here's Ron. Hey, Ron.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello, everybody out there in the in chats tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. Sorry I'm late, but better late than never. I used to say when I was growing up.
That's right. Quick story, and it kind of fits in line with Marcus here. All right, I bought an entertainment center off of Wayfair, of course, assembled, put together. I'm getting ready to put it together this weekend. All right, the main piece on the bottom that supports the whole entertainment center, it was cracked beyond repair. Okay, just cracked. And I'm like, okay. So I had plenty of options. And what I ended up doing was, and listen to this, okay? Wayfair's customer service is out of this world. I called them up, and here's what they did. They gave me several options. They said, okay, we can offer you a full refund. Oh, by the way, you don't have to ship it back. I'm like, huh? What'd you guys say? I don't have to ship this back? They said, that's right. You don't have to ship it back. So what I ended up doing is I contacted the manufacturer of the entertainment center, and I said, can I get this piece replaced? And they said, it's out of stock right now. And I was just like, okay. Because I want to give it to like a family member or something. I would not sell it. But, as it ended up, I ended up getting a better entertainment center, probably about the same price. It's already put together, so I don't have to mess with it. But anyway, okay.
Oh, well, Bill, can we arrange for Wayfair to buy Fimi and adopt that same return policy?
Ron, that is one of the best things I've heard tonight, without a doubt. Okay, there's absolutely no doubt. That is the best thing that I have heard tonight. Okay.
Real quick, the story doesn't surprise me. My brother-in-law bought like a fire thing or whatever from Wayfair. And something was wrong with his, so the same thing. He got another one, didn't have to send the old one back or whatever. So he wound up giving it to a friend of his or whatever, because whatever was wrong with it, it was still usable, just wasn't right, just wasn't 100% right. But the same thing happened. They didn't want it back because I guess all that shipping back and forth would make them lose money. But
it was this box was 100 pounds. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The same thing with this one too. And Bill, I feel your pain on Wayfair. We ordered a outdoor, a deck set, like a sofa and 2 chairs and like a table. And I spent better part of a week putting all the pieces together in Wayfair. My hands still feel it, from turning those little things a million times.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But sorry, folks, I didn't mean to come in and turn this into the Bill the Wayfair reviewer show.
Well, and I don't know if you guys caught it. I found the issue why the big issue why I did it again to Ron. I accidentally hit that. Ron, I did it again.
I do it all the time, Bill. No apologies needed.
2 weeks in a row. Okay. I found out why DJI wouldn't let me send this back by itself.
Oh, the mystery solved.
The mystery was solved. And you know what? My son-in-law enlightened me because my son-in-law was in retail for several years. It's called a Skew number. Okay. The Air 2S Flymore kit has its own Skew number. All right. It's one Skew number for the whole thing. All right.
Gotcha.
So they can't break it apart. Like if you were to buy this on DJI's website, it has its own Skew number. If I bought this individually and had this happen, that'd have not been a problem. All right, we're moving on here. All right,
Bill. Well, I'm staying on topic here. So when you told me that story, I had bought the non-Flymore kit because I kept my old Air 2S. But you made me think, and I eventually opened the box up because I never touched the charger from the new one because I'm just using the charger you have in your hand there from the first Air 2, but I opened the box up to make sure the charger was in good shape and worked. That came with the Air 2S.
That's smart.
Single charger. So and I charged the battery fully up on it. So okay, and that's all because of what you went through. I made sure, hey, I'm not going to. When I try to sell this thing a couple years down the road, and I have to tell somebody, oh, I got a non-working charger.
Okay.
Oh, there's our little friend up on the screen there.
Little friend here. Okay. Now,
they reduced the price on it.
Well, look at this. Order in 3 hours and 26 minutes to ship tomorrow. It's $0. Price is right here, guys.
Well, yeah. Any complaints we would have about the drone at that price point, they're all nothing, right? No matter what's wrong with it.
No, nobody can complain for that kind of price. Nobody.
Yeah, now, Marcus, can we get a pallet load?
Yeah, get a pallet.
Now I was telling Ron and Marcus what we were going to talk about tonight. Now Ron said instantly, he goes, the best drone on paper is right before your eyes right now, guys. The Zino Mini Pro.
I mean, and the best mini drone, and actually the best on paper. This is the best. What do you call bang for your buck of any drone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
even though we don't know a price, but we're assuming $500 or under.
Yeah, and it's the whole the old like, oh, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. But the big thing on this, and nobody, I mean, we've seen videos, but we haven't seen a couple of things. We haven't seen a video of this flying, okay, unless something's come out that I don't know about, and we really haven't seen a video from the Zino Mini Pro. Am I right?
A C11 hasn't had any leaks yet on the Mini Pro.
Yeah, and it's just.
Hey, Bill, would you go back? If maybe you could find a spot there. Did you hear the news we kind of broke recently? On I think it's on these specs here. It was in the second video. They revealed, Bill, that it has an internal memory. You know how we are happy with our Mavics because they have 8 gigabytes of internal memory. This thing has 64/128 of internal memory.
And Ron, explain why that's important. You made a good point.
Well, and one of our commenters on a previous episode of Drone Nation, I'm sorry, I don't remember the commenter's name. He asked me, he said, well, if this has 200 bit rate, no memory card out there, is rated for 200 bits. Well, guess what? If it has internal storage, you can record that high bit rate to the internal storage. In fact, Bill, you may not even need a memory card for this thing unless you choose to have a memory card as like a backup or whatever.
Now here it is. It says built in eMMC 64G/128G.
Can you imagine that amount of instant? It would be no use putting a memory card in, right?
Yeah.
And of course, and hopefully they have some whiz bang transfer method. So when you bring the drone back to your desk, I mean, instead of the cumbersome hook the USB cable up to, maybe they have some kind of quick transfer method where they can Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or maybe send it to your phone. Or I hope they have like a quick way of getting it off there and off to wherever you want to edit it at.
I heard what the quick way is. You have to take your controller, get an alligator clip to open it up, get one end on one of the joysticks, get one end on the other joysticks, and then plug it into your computer.
And they'll transfer over in less than 10 hours.
And Ron's right. It'll take probably about 10 hours. And boy, you'll be able to get everything on your computer.
Hey, we're joking around, Bill, but how many reviews have you seen of the Air 2S? And all the big time reviews, they got to find something wrong with it. So all of them stop and pause and say, it's got 8 gigabytes of internal memory. I was hoping it would at least have 32 this time around. Almost all the big reviewers said that, or whatever. So, it's like Hubsan's list. Okay, you guys want more external memory? We'll give you more internal memory. I mean, I think this is a real, a win-win if this gets delivered with this external storage.
The more you see this, the more it just screams like, it's the best mini drone available.
Bill, do you really think the rumors are true that they scooped up all this fired DJI employees, and maybe those employees brought over ideas that they threw around in the DJI think tank? I'm sure all these ideas were thrown around again in DJI's internal meetings or whatever. Well, we should do this, whatever. And these guys all came over to Hubsan and said, well, we'll just do it all. And this is reminiscent. Like, I can't go into big detail, but I got the Insta360 One X2 recently, and it's the same thing. You look at the box; it has every feature in the world in that box. It's like they just took everything that's possible and said, well, we're just going to put it all in.
Hey, Ron. So the only caveat that I'm going to throw there is we heard that same rumor about the Fimi Mini, that the guys that designed that were fired DJI engineers. So
well, maybe Fimi got the bad ones.
Yeah.
and Hubsan got the good ones. Hey, did you, Marcus? Did you see the comment somebody left on? I think it was our show 2 weeks ago in Drone Nation. A commenter, Drone Psycho. Drone Syndem, sorry, I didn't mean to make him psycho. Drone Syndem, who seems to have an inside with Fimi. He said he's heard from his sources that this first batch of Fimis are out. They were all test units, and they were sold to us as they didn't tell us that we were getting the testers. We had to buy basically the beta units, and the wait to actually buy yours in July when the final versions come out.
It wouldn't surprise me, Ron. Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Stephen Ewing posted. He said this was funny. He was actually. Do you see this for April Fool's Day 2022? Yeah.
I think we said this last night, Bill. What if this is the next? What's that little drone, Marcus, you saw at CES with the two props?
The V-copter.
What if this is the V-copter of 2020? What if a year from now we're still waiting for the Hubsan Mini 2 Pro to arrive?
Or 5 years from now, Ron.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear there was an update in the V-copter? Now they have a V-copter Mini out.
Yes, I did see that.
I mean, not out. Just on a board someplace.
They actually had that at CES as well.
Oh, the Mini?
Yeah. And
there's another Mini coming out, Bill.
Yeah.
It's a mini world. I mean, it's kind of it's like you get to a point. It's like, okay, I had somebody from the Netherlands is coming into the Tampa area, and he's asking me, should I bring my Mini 2 or should I bring my Air 2S? And I told him, I said, leave the Mini 2 at home, okay? Bring the Air 2S. And I told him, I said, the big reason is the wind down here. And you know that, Ron. Yeah. When you go to the shore and the beach, that wind just absolutely picks up. And it's this week, because of the temperatures, it's just the wind has been insane down here. Flying weather's been horrible.
Hey, that's one thing that I need to tell you guys about this guy. And I was just kind of getting it figured out when I did my second flight. I wish I'd had more airtime with it. But it has a climb rate of 5 meters per second, which is fast.
That is fast.
It will go straight up. And I had it in sport mode at one point. I had it up to like 18 and a half, 19 meters per second, which translates to pretty close to 40 miles an hour. For a little mini, this guy is pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm pretty excited about that. And Marcus, I don't know if you caught it or not, but when I was talking about what I found out from B&H is basically, he said if you don't hear anything by May 12th, give us a holler. Okay, so we're still kind of in this holding pattern as far as that's concerned. So.
And Bill, you were talking about wind and Mini 2s and Air 2s. Marcus and I talked about this a little bit. We talked about it off air, and we talked about it briefly the show last day. Did you see the video from the gentleman? He was flying the new Air 2S in Poland. He at the very top of Poland by the ocean. He said they call it hell there or whatever. But anyhow, this gentleman that made the video, he was flying the Mini 2, and his buddy was flying the Air 2S. Now I think it was both the guys' drones, but his buddies flying the Air 2, and they lost the Air 2S out at sea. It got caught up in some winds out there, and it could not get back. And he blamed it on DJI because he said when the battery got down to a certain length, that DJI cut the power out. It did not have the power to get back to its home point. Marcus has seen the video, and a lot of people have. Have you seen this video at all, Bill?
I've seen you guys post it. I didn't get a chance to watch that, but from what I've read, what people have said about it, said it's really kind of like his fault. They kind of defaulted to and I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, here's what I'll say about that. Walk a mile in another guy's shoes. We weren't there, so none of us can say exactly. But it felt odd, and the way they went sideways after they were getting low on battery to come in from a different direction was odd. And when he was coming back, and he was claiming that it went into low power mode, and I think he still had, I don't know, like 18% battery or something. I can tell you from experience, DJI will eventually go into low power mode when you get low enough down on the battery, but it's like 5% or less even before it really starts taking power away from those motors. The whole thing was weird. What I thought was good, though, was that, did you see DJI's comment on the video, Ron?
Yeah, it's pinned to the top. Yeah,
they said, listen, if this is an issue, we're going to take care of it. Send us your files, and we'll look into it, which I thought was cool of them.
But in the chat, Ray Kelly and Laura Donner both say they think it was pilot error.
I believe so too, but we're just looking at a video and drawing those conclusions. So you just want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
And Bill, you definitely did watch video. And then at the end, he kind of puts the Air 2S down and talks the Mini up. And then if you go back to look at his previous videos, videos were basically videos trying to prove that the Mini 2 is better than the Air 2S.
That's the other thing, Ron. He did. There's no question he had an agenda, huh?
And now, Bill, this isn't some haphazard guy. This guy, the video is beautiful. He's got narration and B-roll, whatever. This is this looks like like a top YouTube channel making a video.
Yeah, I've been watching him for a while, Ron. Philip Scaraba or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I'm gonna watch that. But a couple of comments to make on that. Okay, now when I fly out to the Sunshine Skyway Bridge down here in Tampa, you have to do it from one of the two rest areas. Okay, you can't technically, you're not allowed to take off. There's a north pier and a south pier, and basically those are the old bridge. That's the old bridge down here. You guys probably, I don't know if you heard of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge disaster. Freighter hit it and knocked it down, and a Greyhound bus went in. There were dozens of people killed.
How long ago was that, Bill?
I think it was like about 1987.
Yeah, I vaguely remember hearing
about it.
It's
been a while. There was a guy's car. There's a picture of his car. He just stopped and his back wheels were still on the bridge. His front wheels were over the edge. Okay. Yeah. So
could you imagine that guy's going to have a story. If he's still alive, he's still telling that story today.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Well, what they did was that they left part of the bridge intact, and people fish from the piers. Okay, but you have to go to the north or south rest area. Now, the south rest area, you have a shorter flight than you do from the north rest area. Okay, so all that being said, when I went to fly down there, I calculated at what percentage I needed to. I looked at the wind. Okay, I went to UAV forecast, and and fortunately it was a calm day. But I had figured at 60%, I need to turn around and come home. Okay, I knew, even without any wind, I knew it's 60%. And wouldn't you know it, when I landed, I had like 9% battery left. All right, and I said I didn't let it linger for more than 30 seconds at 60% because I wanted to get some shots because I got up to the bridge. So it takes a while to get there, and then I flip back. Okay. When you're out flying long distances like that, when you're doing things like that, especially, and Marcus knows this, when you're up against the wind, okay, that's a whole different ballgame, all right? You have to calculate. You have to know, okay, where that wind is coming from, how fast it is, because if you go out there with a tailwind, great, but guess what? When you're coming back, okay, you're going to work twice as hard to get back, and you may not make it back with something like that. So you need to put all that into context.
Marcus, talk about how that guy in the video, that when he knew to bring it back, instead of coming straight back, they came back at a crazy angle, right?
Hey, Bill, highlight Steve Mackey. There's a good comment there.
He's like, comment from the bottom.
Yeah, you're right, Ron. That's exactly right. They decided to kind of tack off a different direction. It just was phony. Before they even tried to come back against the wind, lower altitude, right? What would we all do? You drop some altitude and see if you could get out of whatever high winds. And then the whole thing about the way they were trying to fight the wind, and it they were at full throttle, and he was saying that it reduced power. It just didn't feel right. And so I don't want to accuse anybody of being a liar because we weren't there and we don't know.
Yeah. We'll conversation about it next week again. But Bill see the video, and I don't know why.
Yeah, that's on my to-do list of videos to watch. And you know what brought this brings to mind, Marcus, is your incident with the Mini. When you
had to bring it up.
I got to give you credit. While it was pilot error, you had enough head about you, and you kept your wits to find a place to land that you knew that you could go recover your drone from, okay? And there's a lot of kudos to you for keeping your cool and doing that, okay? There's a lot to be said for that. Now, there's been times I haven't kept my cool, but when you do keep your cool, usually it ends up being in your favor when you do stuff like that. Now, this return to home, okay? Here's what I have to say, all right? You know what he needs to do? Hit return to home, okay? Get that thing coming back because it's going to do a 180 right away. You're not, and it calculates things. When you're doing that automatically, it's doing a lot of number crunching internally when it's coming back, all right? And if you can see if it's struggling, okay, you may want to take it over manually, okay?
But Bill, I want to insert right in here. Okay, do you think if he would have hit return to home and not touched it, okay, do you think in return to home mode the thing would not go into its low power mode, like the return to home ride that goes into low power mode?
I don't think it does. I think depending upon, I would have to look at the presets, okay, because a lot of times people don't mess. When people fly it out of the box, they don't adjust that. And you need to take a look at that, okay? Because a lot of times people will set it really low. I mean, like 5% or something like that, which is probably what it should be, okay? Because until you get to like a 5% kind of a thing, you probably shouldn't mess with that. I mean, that's my thinking on that.
A quick note on long flights and long distances. Did you hear the news? Our good friend Dustin Dunnell's moving to New Mexico.
No, I did not.
Yeah, apparently, real estate, real estate's going crazy in Hawaii, just like here, like a medium price house is like almost $1 million there. So he found a nice place in New Mexico, but he won't be coming back for a year because he's waiting for his son to graduate from high school. But so those long distance, range tests off the side of that mountain there, the Maui Mountain or whatever he calls it, will be a thing of the past eventually. But New Mexico, there's probably a lot of great opportunities out there to do some long distance flights.
Oh,
so,
I'm sure I'm sure there are plenty out there in New Mexico.
His family lives in New Mexico anyway.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
But there's our accidental update of the evening.
Well, one of the things that I have to say, with my new flying location, and one of the things that I really like about it, okay, it's a straight corridor, and it really it kind of helps me focus when I'm to keep things straight, to keep things on a line. It really does a good job. And like you guys said, when I did my first flight, one of the things I really like is, there's a lot of green around there. There's a lot of colors, and it really helps things pop out. And I'm real.
Yeah, as nice as the lake was and whatever, you didn't get those vibrant colors you're getting now.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of dull colors around the lake. There's no dull here, and the nice thing is it's 2 minutes from my house. I mean, you literally can't beat that.
And Bill, that looks like a good spot for your RC cars also.
Yes.
And maybe even your RC planes.
Yes, that will be absolutely positively perfect for that. I couldn't ask for a better spot. Plus, it's quiet up there. Okay, nobody goes up there. That's a nice thing. It's meant as kind of like a park, but nobody's up there. So that's
where a private park.
Yes, and I kind of like that. Although I have to say this was interesting. On my last video, the Master Shots video, somebody asked me, says, "Why did you park on the grass?" I'm like, "Son," I said, "because I didn't want to park on the road." I mean, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not you were allowed to, right? It wasn't like it was a
yeah. There's no problem. There's no problem with something.
Well,
like
you're a big 4-wheel drive truck. It's not like you're getting stuck or anything, right?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean,
hey, and Marcus, at least Bill will have somebody come up tapping on his shoulder when he's in the middle of a flight and scared the bejesus out of him.
Oh, that guy startled the heck out of me, man. I'm telling you. It was first I heard breathing, and I'm going, what the?
Could you imagine if you'd been flying a DJI PV drone with the goggles on, that would have happened?
Yeah.
Well,
and the guy, let me add, I want to make perfectly, the guy was really a nice guy. And I offered to, hey, when I'm done here, I'll show you whatever. But, right now I'm busy.
Well, the person who scares me the most, and it will sneak up on me unintentionally all the time, Valerie. Okay. I swear. You know what I ended up buying her for Christmas? I kid you not. Okay. I found it's a Velcro on her wrist. I found jingle bells to put on her wrist with Velcro because she would literally come up to me. And this is when I first started out doing drone reviews. I was in the kitchen on the island. Next thing I know, she was like right behind me. And I mean, I would literally jump out of my seat.
The ninja.
Oh my gosh, she's stealth.
You said you got her something the jingle. I thought you were going to say you got her tap shoes or something.
I told her, I said, you know what? I said, if the U.S. government finds out about you, I'll never see you. They'll try to.
Oh yeah, you'll be on COVID missions overseas.
Yes, I will never see you again. Okay, that's yeah. So be that as it may, here, okay, with this whole thing about the Mini, I just kind of want to wrap this segment up here. It's a wait and see kind of game because there have been some mini videos come out with the Fimi. Not a lot to digest here, guys. With that, I mean, and obviously there's nothing yet with a Hubsan, and there's plenty with the Mini too. So it's kind of like which one is the best? Well, on the paper, obviously the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro is, but that's a way to be seen.
So I want to add one thing. I was looking on one of the RC forums, and they were suggesting that we may see that Hubsan Mini by June. And I don't know what information they have. people can say whatever they want.
Yeah,
right?
Bill, I got some of my sources in Asia say that. Well, they told me in April. They said they thought they were going to see it next month in May.
So,
But these are all, well, on my part, there's absolutely rumors. I'm telling you.
Well, when you see things like on the website, when you see these things, free shipping, Zino Mini Pro. I mean, you kind of see, it's all built, and all they really got to do is populate it with a price, and boom, it's ready to go. So just from my experience on the retail side of things, you don't get all this built and just let it sit there. Okay. Right. Something's it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. It's either gonna be May or June. I don't see it going any longer. Especially, okay, this is again thinking about who this is going to be kind of geared to here in North America. All right, it's the prime time for people to get out to fly. Right. June, July, August kind of a thing.
And that shipping day would make sense because they would get that out before the second wave of the Fimi drones arrived, and a good 6 months before the Mini 3. So it'd be perfect timing. Hey, real quick before Marcus makes his point, I want to welcome in Scott Nadeau in the chat here. He's a big fan of all our shows. He's from the great state of Minnesota, Bill. And guess where he is now?
Scott's down in
he's a sunny Fort Myers Beach, Florida.
Yeah, I know.
He posted a great picture this morning on Facebook of him and his grandson by the water.
Yeah, I saw that. And Scott, welcome and welcome to Florida. I hope you're having a good time down in Fort Myers. It's a beautiful area down there, as Ron well knows because he's
I didn't mean to cut Marcus off. Go ahead with your point, Marcus. I just want to shout out Scott.
I already forgot what one of them is, Ron. I'm getting old. But
I just wanted to give shout to Scott because poor Scott's probably freezing in Minnesota, so he's probably like a kid on the world's best vacation down there in all that warm weather.
Yeah, but one of the points that I wanted to make was, Bill, I know I spoke with my Banggood rep to see if I could maybe get a hold of a test unit, right, a pre-production one, and she said that she would try and get me one, which would be wonderful. It would be awesome, and if I do, you guys will be the first to know.
Oh, you may get a DNA though.
Well, you never know about that, but I can't imagine. But Bill, I would expect that possibly you've probably spoken to your people at Banggood as well.
Yeah. See, I got yelled at. Okay, I got my hand slapped because why didn't you sell more Fimi Minis? And I'm like, guys, look at the price. Okay.
I went through that same thing. Yeah. And, once I explained to my rep, I said, well, because of where nobody had to enter some stupid contest to get it for $319.
Yeah.
You could just buy it on AliExpress or from B&H. And so she came back and showed me the websites where they're way priced higher now. And I said, well, they weren't like that on introduction day. And so she was cool with that.
Everybody already ordered them. Hey, Bill, can I make a confession?
Uh-oh.
Well, even though the Fimi Minis, supposedly on the way to me, I mean, I've kind of already got over it or whatever. I'm juiced, kind of so juiced about this Hubsan Mini 2 Pro. I'm almost like, I can almost say just send a Fimi. I mean, I shouldn't be like that because I'm wanting something that's not even real at this point for something that's supposedly already shipped. But I got to make a confession. I've already kind of moved on mentally from the Fimi Mini before not even getting it to this to the Hubsan Super Drone.
Ron, you know what? I think a lot of people are in the same boat, and you know what? I kind of feel the same way. It's kind of like I've got to see enough videos of the Mini, it's Fimi Mini, and I'm like, okay, and and then Marcus had his issues and stuff, and then with this is kind of like really whetting your appetite. Your curiosity is really up there with this. Go ahead, Marcus.
I'm an old guy, and you guys talking just now brought it back. I remembered what I was going to say. So Hubsan was very successful in their announcement in that just what you guys are just talking about just now, it took the wind out of the sails
of the
Mini.
Sure did.
And so they know that then some of those people, wow, they'll just wait for the Hubsan.
That is an excellent point.
And, you know, and I'm not down on the Fimi Mini at all for the price. From what I've seen on the reviews and for the price point it's at, it seems like it's a reasonable drone for that price point.
You know where it would be a home run out, Ron? And because of what I know about the service and everything with this guy, if this thing was $250, boom, who cares if you could ever buy a ribbon cable for it? I mean, what I'm saying is at that point, you know, it'd be reasonably priced enough that you wouldn't have those kind of high expectations. And let me tell you, everything, the only issues I have had with it were partly my own fault, dropping it, A, and then B, that gimbal shake, and then the vignetting that Ron and I have talked about, which I got to be honest with you, that wasn't a deal killer for me. I mean, it wasn't good, but the video still looked good enough that it didn't bother me.
And that sounds like a software problem. It could be fixed in a future firmware update.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, you know, even with all the excitement about the new Mini app that was coming with the Fimi and everything now, and Marcus just absolutely hit the freaking nail on the head with, you know, they sucked all the air out of the room. All the air out of the room is gone. Nobody's talking about the Fimi Mini. Everybody's talking about the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro. Okay,
and we haven't even seen a peek of what the Mini Pro app will look like. Whether it'll just be the Hubsan app we're used to, or whether they're going to juice it up a little bit for the Mini 2 Pro.
Hey, so guys, I like the Hubsan app. I don't know what you guys thought of it, but I like the Fimi and the Hubsan app. I like them both.
I don't think it's bad, but this drone's so capable on paper that you think they would even need a little bit of a redo of the app, or maybe even a special app just for it.
Well, this is the kind of drone, and I'm going to say this, okay? If it went on sale like at midnight, okay, I'm up. I'm going to hit that buy button. All right, that's the kind, and whether it's $4.99 or whatever, okay, sold, because you know this thing is it's like my curiosity is through the roof on this, okay, and will it do everything that it says it'll do? I mean, really.
Yeah, I mean, we've come so far, Bill, that it doesn't even bother mentioning it has a 3-axis gimbal because that's just a given now. It doesn't mention. I don't think it mentioned the wind resistance either. It's just the given that it's going to have that level 5 wind resistance that we're used to. You know, and the Mini. So it's funny how like some of that stuff has just become so you don't even mention anymore. It's like you don't have to say, well, the drone has propellers or whatever. It's just
it's like a given.
Yeah. Which is a good. I'm good we reached that point because we really suffered through so many unstable video from drones in the early days.
Ron, I know you go clear back to the brushed motor days.
I have like a lot of people in the chat here. I had a what do you call it? A little Fimi X8 or whatever that had no stabilization at all. And well, you guys talk about crashing and whatever. You could crash and break it, but that was so cheap. You just buy another one and move the parts over.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Marcus, closing thoughts.
Yeah, no, you know what? Rather than worry about when Fimi or Hubsan's going to ship their drone, get out there with your DJI Mini. It's an awesome piece of tech. Get out there and fly.
Oh yeah, Ron.
I just sitting here. Hopefully by next week, hopefully I'll have that little Fimi Mini in hand. I mean, I ordered just a little bit after Marcus did, but we have a theory that they're playing a ride with them on the West Coast, and mine must be in a slow moving truck coming east or whatever. So hopefully, I'll have it by next week. So I want to give it a fair shot. I mean, I know there's already been some videos where people have, put it down, but I just want to give it a fair shot, open eyes and so on, and give it a good fair, going over and not think about, oh, we got this, Hubsan coming or whatever. So yeah.
Hey, Ron, I think we should explain why we think it's a truck moving east, because we know people in the Midwest that already know that their Fimi Mini is coming to them. So we feel like they must have had a truck full of these and it's moving slowly east.
And if that boat docked to some big port like Seattle or San Francisco out west, Margate City is about as far east as that can get. Like if once it gets here, the truck ends, because otherwise it'll be in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, that's it. Doesn't.
What's the old saying? The bus stops here, Bill.
The bus stops here. That's right. Okay. Well, just a side note before I close, and this is real interesting. Okay, for you guys that do backups or your computer systems and everything, and I found this out this week. This is Bill's tech tip for the week. All right.
What backups? What's a backup?
Okay. All right. I had a Western Digital hard drive. Okay.
Oh, good drive.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that, Marcus, I agree. And 12 terabytes. Okay.
Oh, nice drive.
My hard drive in my computer is 6 terabytes. Okay, which you would think that it would. Okay, I would. I would still be good. With this 12, I go to do a daily backup. Okay, it says hard drive is full, and I go in there. The daggone thing is full. Guess what it was doing? Okay, Western Digital software. It only does a full backup each time. It doesn't do an incremental backup.
Oh, so you had a whole bunch of copies of the same thing over and over again. Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was, okay, with all the purchases I made at Best Buy, I had $70 in reward certificates. All right, so I ended up using that. I got a Seagate 10 terabyte hard drive, and Seagate has a differential backup. So
Seagate is the bomb. Seagate is the one to get.
And I'm done with Western Digital.
I'm sorry, guys. You can send me your Western Digitals on a Mac. The Mac takes over, does all the incremental backing up to the drive or whatever. You just, as soon as you get that drive, you just erase what's ever on there and format it for the Mac, and then the incremental backups happen
automatically.
It's like a one-time button push. Yeah. Send me all those old Western Digitals.
I didn't have that. Ron, are you gonna be on Mikey tonight?
Yes, and we hope to get Marcus to come on for a few minutes to talk about his Fimi, because I know it's last minute. I sent you a thing. Mikey wants to hear about the Fimi. He didn't know you had an incident with the Fimi. So go take a dinner break. Get something to eat, and then you come back with a Fimi.
You got it.
There you go, guys. You know where to find Ron and Marcus coming up here. Just a few minutes. Always remember, guys, great day to fly. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for having us on. Good night.